packaging, so I'll let the lady go first. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Batman v Superman movie action figure review on the Medicom MAFEX Batman figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can get it at
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Pretty interesting color scheme for this packaging, right? There's a lot of green and yellow here, which I think is kind of strange for a Batman figure. But anyway, we get the bat flak right over there. You can see the figure on the side. We get some more yellow, the BVS, Batman MAFEX and everything. And then you can see some poses that the figure's in. You can see some of the accessories as well. A lot of writing in Japanese. This is an import company. And then we get some yellow over there for Batman. Then on the top, we get some more yellow and kind of like a mustard color right here. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. Bat flak. Man, I'm really happy with this figure. This is a really cool Batman figure. Also, I love the bat flak. I think he just absolutely killed it. This thing is very fun to pose, very stable. You can see I have him standing on the toe joint right over there. So I really like the articulation on this piece. He has some great paint apps. He also has a bendy wire right there in the cape, and he comes with a ton of accessories, man. A lot of interchangeable hands. So let's take a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the bat flak. So one of the many accessories that come with this figure is this display stand, which is actually my biggest complaint with the figure. A lot of people ask me, hey, where do you get your stands? And I say, hey, it comes with MAFEX figures. Well, this is one of the stands that I regularly use, and what I'm used to seeing with the MAFEX figures, this one right here is the one that comes with the Batman. And I have two complaints about this thing. First off, the plastic is not as clear as it is on the past MAFEX stands. As you can see, this has this yellowish brownish hue in the plastic, which I don't like. I like how this one's all crystal clear. Then the other thing is the clamp. This is just too large, man. I like this smaller clamp. You could use it to hold the figures by the leg or the waist. Like when I have this one right here and I try to set it up with the Batman, you can see it just wraps all the way around the waist right there. So it really just, I don't know, it just takes up too much space on the figure, you know, as opposed to the other clamp where you can get this going around the waist and you can see that you barely see it, you know. Even though I'd consider this a little bit more difficult to balance, but still it looks cooler when you have the figures on the older ones. So the figure comes with 6 pairs of hands, and we get 4 different weapons over here. Now we get some fisted hands, we get some batarang holding hands, we get the grapple gun holding hand right over there, we have the grenade launcher holding hand, we get the wide open hands, and then we get these Batusi hands or batarang holding hands as well. And all of the hands are sculpted out very nicely. They have all kinds of details in them. I like how all the paint's right there on the knuckles. We get some nice detail on the gloves. Looking at one of these more open ones, you can see there's a little notch right there. Or this one right here, you can see nice wrinkles in there and everything. So I'm not going to get a close-up on every single one of these, but I just wanted to just point out how cool they look, and I like them a lot. Now looking at the weapons right here, here's a grenade launcher. Looking really nice. A lot of nice etched out details sculpted in there. I like it. Looking pretty good. As far as getting him to hold these, it is a little bit tricky. I try to use the one that has the little pinky sticking out. So let's see, this one right here. Yeah, so that's the one, and you can just hear it as I put this on here. It's well, actually after doing it the first time, it's a little bit easier to get that on there. I recommend having him hold this first before putting it onto the figure. And as you can see, I love this peg system right here for the interchangeable hands. That's so much cooler than Hot Toys, right? This is something I'd like Hot Toys to adopt, but that looks really good. A little complaint about it though is that there is some serious gappage right there, but it does allow for articulation, but you can see a gap on all the hands when you place them on there. And then looking at the batarang, this looks really cool. I love the silver paint. It looks really nice. I know he has 2 different types of batarangs. I wish he'd come with the second version, but I'm glad to at least get one. And then with this hand right here with the thumb sticking out a little bit, you can see there's a little bit of a space right there. And you just put the batarang in there, and he holds it nicely. So that's really cool. You could also use the Batusi hands for that. It's a little bit trickier to get him to hold, but it looks cool too. So you can do that if you want to. Want something like that. That's pretty neat. He also has this little grenade right over here, or this gas bomb. I'm not sure exactly which of the two, but I like it. It would have been nice if they painted the pin silver right here. That would have been pretty cool. But anyway, he has a specific hand for that. You can use this one right here. And there you go. So he's holding that very nicely. So that looks really cool. Then he's looking at the grapple gun, which looks amazing. I really like how this came out. There's a little bit of wear on it, which kind of bugs me. But other than that, I think it looks really cool. You can see the little scuffs and everything over the brown paint. That's just from him holding it and everything. But man, the silver looks really nice on this. And the details came out looking really clean. So I really like that a lot. For this one, I like using the hand that doesn't have the little pinky sticking out. So this one right over here. And you can get him holding it like, yeah, getting in there. Yeah, so it's a little tricky getting him to hold these. And here's looking at the head sculpt, which I mostly like, but I also have some qualms with this thing. First off, I did drop it, and he fell on the glass, and I think this little scuff right over here up at the top is from that happening, so I'm kind of bummed out about that. It's this big line going across his forehead right there, so that bums me out. I believe that is my fault. I don't remember seeing that before it fell over, so pretty bummed about that. He also has a little scuffage right over there, right above his eyebrow. But there are parts of this thing that stick out to me that aren't my fault. Like, for instance, there's like a little extra paint glob right over there and some weird stuff happening right there. So these little details do stick out to me, but I do think the sculpt looks really nice. It does look like Ben Affleck behind there. The only thing that it looks like he's been in the tanning salon a little too long, so I do think the flesh tone is a little bit too dark. But I like that we have some black shading over it, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like 5 o'clock shadow. It looks like he's just got some dirt over his face or something, so it's a dirty Batman. But the eyes look pretty good. You could barely see them through there, but you know, I think it looks all right, you know. One thing I don't like is I think the thickness of the neck is just way too heavy. It's just like a really thick neck, and it doesn't look so weird right now, I guess, but I don't know. Sometimes when I have this guy posed around, I'm like, wow, that is a big fat neck. But anyway, looking at the ears right over there, they look pretty good. Looking on the back of the head and the cowl and everything, looks pretty nice. I really like the material that they used for this cape, by the way. You get the wire running all the way through right here, so you do get articulation in the bendy wire. And then at the end of the cape, you get all these little ridges right over here. Looking at the front of the figure, man, this thing looks dope. I think the sculpted detail in this looks absolutely fantastic, and I love the paint detail in it as well. Get some black and brown mixed in there, looking really nice. Really digging this a lot. Love the design for this Batman suit. I think this is my favorite cinematic Batman. I still have a hard time just confidently saying that, but man, it was just so badass. I just want to watch the movie all over again. I've seen it hella times since I picked up the Blu-ray. But anyway, looking at the utility belt over here, it looks really nice. I do think that his lower torso could have been a little bit wider to match the rest. You know, like as you look down here around the waist and everything, it looks like it just kind of disappears, right? Like there's some parts of his body missing between the belt, right? I don't know. It just looks like this could have been a little bit wider down here, but it's kind of a nitpick of mine anyway. Gold paint looks pretty good all the way through. Doesn't come all the way on the back right there, but they did keep up with the paint detail on the back, so I think that's pretty neat. And looking at the legs, again, nice detail, nice sculpted work. The boots look pretty good. We get some random blue. I didn't notice that before. That's kind of weird. But anyway, looking on this side, looks pretty nice. I'm liking that. The boots look all right. Get those steel toes right over there. And then he does not have pickles at the bottom of his feet, but he does have some nicely sculpted treads. And for the articulation, he can move his head all the way up, which looks fantastic. I really like that a lot. But again, big fat neck right there. So fat bat neck. You can move his head all the way down. You get side-to-side movement over here. And again, it's this neck joint turns as well as the head joint. So I think that's pretty great. And you get a great amount of neck pivot in there as well. So that's pretty cool. You get this armpit joint that moves forward and back a little bit, and it does shift up and down some, and the shoulders can only move outward actually that much. If you just wanted to move them straight outward, they don't go out too far, but you can move them forward a lot, and you can turn the bicep swivel right here. Man, I really wish these could move up more, but oh well. Anyway, you get the bicep swivel right there, you get the double jointed elbows, then he does have the wrist rotation. They hinge up and down, and without pulling that off the peg, but yeah, you can see it moving up and down right there. He does have a very good diaphragm joint. It turns side to side. You get some nice pivot at the diaphragm. Crunches forward that much, crunches back that much. You also get waist swivel right here, waist pivot, and waist crunching. So both of those joints all together move forward that much, and both of them all together move back that much. So that's very cool. He has the hip joints that move up and down right there in the leg, so it allows the leg to move outward that much, and you can get him kicking forward that far, moves back that far. You get an upper thigh cut right there. You get the double jointed knees, and the ankles move down a little bit, they move up. He does have ankle pivot. You can rotate side to side, and he does have toe articulation. articulation. And yeah, they bend up just a little bit. They could bend a little bit more, but that's not too bad. And then here's the figure at its widest stance possible with both feet still flat on the floor. And to measure out this MAFEX figure, you can see that Batman is standing just a little over 6.5 inches tall. Now to compare MAFEX's Batman compared to Mattel's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Batman, you can see that they're standing at about the same height. Man, this looks so much better. And then here's the MAFEX Batman compared to the Mezco 1/12 Collective Armored Batman. Now these are from different lines, but I do think that they fit and scale together fairly well. I mean, he's in this big armored suit, so he's definitely supposed to stand taller, and the faces look about the same size, so I think that's pretty awesome. I like these. Then here's the new MAFEX Batman compared to our first MAFEX Batman, which is the Christian Bale Batman. Big thanks Devils do, and by the way, it was great seeing him over in New York. I gotta give a plug, man. Check out his YouTube channel down below. He's been plugging away at the reviews, so check out his channel if you have not already. But I like both of these figures. This figure, you can get the arms swinging outward a lot more, but the arms do pop off fairly easy. This one does not have the arm popping off issue as this one. But I really think they're both great figures. I really like the work that MAFEX does. Then to compare Batman to your average sized Marvel Legend, here he is next to Black Panther from Hasbro. And you can see Batman's just a little bit taller than Black Panther. And of course, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. It's kind of hard to tell, but I do have this figure standing on his toes, and I think that looks really cool. I really like this figure a lot, man. It's actually already one of my favorite Batman figures in my collection. Kind of difficult balancing him on the toes, but I think I could do it again. Let's see. There we go. Alright, yeah. Very tricky to do, but yeah, you can get him balanced on both of the toes right there. I think this figure is sick. I absolutely love it. Already one of my favorite Batman figures in my collection. I highly recommend it. I do have my gripes with it, but I think they are minor compared to how much I really like this piece. And I hope you guys really liked this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you'd like, and go ahead and check out the boxes popping up down below. I will have a subscribe button popping up right over here, and if you want to stay tuned and go ahead and check out the latest in action figure news, you can find it all over at toynewseye.com, along with the photo gallery of images from this review. If you want to stay in touch with me, follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links all in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Come on, you got it. You got it. Come on, boy, you got it.